Saturday, November 11th, 2017. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. This is Real Deal Sports Talk with me, KP. We're going to talk about a few things today. A little bit of a lighter show this week. We had Vance Johnson on last week. Thanks for everybody tuning in and listening to that. Thanks again, Vance, for being willing to come on the show. Looking forward to doing some stuff with you in the future for sure. Keep doing what you're doing and stay strong, my friend. Getting into this week, of course, we're going to do our Week 10 picks this week. We got some college football to talk about, some big games that I'm excited to watch tonight. Other scores of games that are going on today currently, because we are coming at you early today. Normally we're on at 6:30. We're coming at you today. It's 12:30 here, local time in Denver, Colorado. Because today my daughter is celebrating her first of two 15-year-old birthday parties as she turned 15 this week. So happy birthday, honey. Love you. And we're going to have a good weekend. But so we'll get into the college football as well. We'll get into the Week 10 picks. And we're going to check in for the first time this season on how the Real Deal Sports Talk Fantasy Football League's going. Talk about the standings, who's facing who today, things like that. And we're just going to chat today. We're just going to hang out, okay? It's just like we're all just sitting around talking some sports today. If you don't know, if you're tuning in for the first time, if you're finding my show for the first time because you just, you're searching through and decided, hey, I'll give this guy a try, or you found one of my posts and clicked into it and decided you had a minute to listen, you can follow us on Facebook, Real Deal Sports Talk with KP. We're on Twitter at Real Deal KVP. You can find us on Google Plus, Real Deal Sports Talk with KP. The website's out there, realdealsportstalkwithkp.com. We're getting ready to fix up the website, update it a little bit, modernize it a little bit, take it from the preschool website it is now and update it a little bit more to a high school collegiate level type website, hopefully. So look forward to some of those changes coming here in the future. Alright, let's get into it. We got the Week 10 picks. As you guys know, I post these every week on the website in the Real Take Tuesday blog, just so they're out there and it doesn't seem like I'm just taking the winner from whatever the Thursday night outcome was. But they are out there to see, and if you ever want to double check me, you can. If I make changes throughout the week to the picks, they are posted there as well. Last week I made some changes, some panned out, some didn't. This week I'm sticking with all of the picks I made. So here we go. I had Seattle beating Arizona Thursday night. That did pan out. I thought Seattle was hitting their stride and that they would win on the road. Arizona, they were sounding too much as if they were going to rely on Adrian Peterson. I think Adrian Peterson can still be a useful back in this league. He's had some good games so far since going to Arizona, but as we saw Thursday night, you load the box up against him. He has no fullback, backup quarterback in the game. He gets tackled in the end zone for the first safety of his career. He's going to have ups and downs with that team this year for the rest of this season. We'll see what happens next year when David Johnson comes back. Hopefully David Johnson comes back, and how they manage that situation. But I had Seattle winning. I didn't think it was going to take Russell Wilson being Magic Man, running all over the place, doing loop-de-loos and throwing to people that weren't even in the route. But you win the game how you can win the game, and that's exactly what they went out there and did. So congratulations to the Seahawks, pulling one game closer to the Los Angeles Rams in the NFC West. New Orleans versus Buffalo this weekend. It'd be easy, I said, it'd be easy in the blog to go ahead and pick the Saints on this because of what they've done over the last 5-6 weeks of the NFL season. They're on a nice hot streak right now. Their defense is playing much better than any of us expected it to be able to do. And they're coming in to face Buffalo Buffalo, another magic season right now. Nobody expected them to be this good. I surely didn't under Sean McDermott in year one. You're going to see Kelvin Benjamin for the first time as a Bill this week. However, all of that being said, I'm going with Buffalo this week. I think New Orleans' hot streak has been great, but I don't see them winning out for the rest of the year. I think Buffalo is a little upset and hopefully focused this week after their loss to the Jets last Thursday. And I'll take Buffalo to win on this one. Green Bay and Chicago. 9 times out of 10, I'm going to take Green Bay in this matchup, especially with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is out. Green Bay's defense is not playing well at all. They had more injuries last week versus Detroit. The running game has been inconsistent at best there. They have the issues with Martellus Bennett leaves. He's now in New England. And the offense just isn't running as smoothly. They don't have as many plays or as much experience playing live NFL games. I know McCarthy said that he was fine with his quarterback room and he's got time invested. Time invested is great. That's great. They know the system. They know the plays. They know the playbook. They know the reads. You still have to have the experience of going out there and doing it. And that's what we're seeing right now out of Brett Hundley. Yes, he's a guy who typically in college at UCLA held the ball too long, one read, took off running. But he sat behind Rodgers. He's been in that room. He's been learning. And I think with more experience, he'll be a little better. He's not going to be a top-flight NFL starter. That's not who he is. It's not who he's going to be. So, on the other side, you got Mitchell Trubisky, rookie, not having such a hot season, but giving hope to the Bears faithful. Bears defense, it's playing really lights out right now, playing very well on the season. A running game in Chicago that's been good some weeks and not there other weeks. Both teams, in my opinion, are pretty bad right now. So I'm taking the Bears to win this one. Because Green Bay, I think, is still reeling from the loss of Aaron Rodgers. I don't see them making enough plays against the Bears' defense this week. And I think the Bears shut down what little running game Green Bay does have and forced Brett Hundley to try and beat him with his arm and or his legs. So I'll take Chicago for those reasons. Cleveland versus Detroit. I've been joking about this with people all week. Historically, Detroit finds a way to lose in these situations. I said it last week when we were facing Brett Hundley. Historically, over the last 10, 15, 20 years, first-time quarterbacks, and whatever teams, the Lions have found a way to lose to those teams. However, I'm going to put some faith into them. I'm going to keep my Lions pride alive, and I'm going to take the Lions to win at home against Cleveland, going into what is going to be the second of 4 games in about 18 days. From the 6th to the 23rd, what is that, 17 days, the Lions will play in 4 NFL games. So that's going to be a very important stretch of games for the Lions. I think they need to beat Cleveland, a team with no wins on the season, a team with no identity right now, no quarterback. Yes, we have players out this week, we as in Detroit, but Cleveland's beat up too. Cleveland is very motivated to get that first win on the season. So this could be one of those trap games. However, I'm sticking with my Lions. I'll take them to beat Cleveland this week. Pittsburgh going into Indianapolis. Pittsburgh all day in this game. It's not even going to be close. The score is probably going to be closer than the game is, as Indianapolis is just in shambles right now. Chargers versus Jacksonville. I'm kind of split on this one, but for now I'm going to go with the Jags. I might wake up in the morning and feel different because the Chargers are one of those teams. They have enough talent. They have a top-flight quarterback. They could shock somebody, but they find ways to beat themselves week in and week out. Calais Campbell right now is my midseason MVP pick with the way he's playing and what he's been able to do with that defense down there, leading the league in sacks. Fournette should be playing again this week, and I will take Jacksonville at home over the Chargers. I'm taking mostly home teams this week. I'm taking Tampa Bay. Next game, Tampa Bay. I'm taking them to beat the Jets this week. I think Tampa Bay finally gets something going. Ryan Fitzpatrick gets a little bit of a revenge game as he's playing in place of Jameis Winston this week and taking on the Jets. And I think this is a game where Tampa Bay needs to man up. The rest of the guys on that team need to man up. They need to pull off their assignments. They need to be focused. They need to lay the hat, put people on the ground, turn over the ball on defense, make the big play on offense. Mike Evans needs to get his head on straight and stop running into the back of people. And with his week off this week, that is going to cause that offense to have to find some other way to score points and move the ball down the field. I still think Tampa Bay pulls it out. I think this is a gut check game. Like I said, it's time to man up. I think they do that this week. Not to say that turns their season around, but I think they win tomorrow. Cincinnati going into Tennessee. Somebody has to win this one. Both of these teams, to me, have underachieved this year with what my personal and others' really expectations were of these two clubs. In the situation, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to take the home team when it's a split game to me. No suspension for A.J. Green was surprising. He should be looking to prove himself more today because of that. Tennessee, who knows how they're going to come out and play today. But with their running game, with the talent they do have, Mariota makes a couple plays. They have a stout defensive line. I'll take Tennessee at home. Somebody's got to win. Minnesota versus Washington. I think Washington wins this one at home in a very good matchup. I think these two teams match up well against each other, what they do, what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are. And I think Washington is able to pull this one out against Minnesota today. I know Teddy Bridgewater, the excitement is, will he play, will he won't play? I don't expect him to play at all. I don't think any reports are really talking about him playing this week. I think he's more a backup role behind Keenum as they put Sam Bradford on the IR this week, basically taking Bridgewater's place. But I think Washington gets this one done and helps Detroit out, honestly, a little bit in the division, because that would put them one game closer to Minnesota. Houston going into the Rams in L.A. I will take the Rams. I think their magic continues. Sean McVay finds a way for the Rams to beat Houston tomorrow, as Houston's struggling right now with the loss of Deshaun Watson quite a bit. You can see how much he was really helping that offense flow this year. That being gone, I don't have any faith in that offense for the rest of the season right now. Lamar Miller, to me, was predicated on the passing game being good. Devontae Foreman has not developed enough for my liking to this point in the season in the running game. And those receivers will just be hurt by Deshaun Watson not being in there and being able to get them the ball. So I will take the Rams to run away with that game. Dallas going into Atlanta, no Zeke. You would expect Dallas to be motivated to show they can do it without him, and Dak Prescott's going to be out there trying to lead the team and make plays. They still have 2 good running backs there in Dallas, but I'll take the Falcons to finally look good on offense, complete game, and win this one at home against Dallas coming in. It's kind of a prove-me game for Atlanta. They got to find a way to get back into that race in the AFC South with the way New Orleans has been playing over the last several weeks, and with Carolina, basically just playing tough and holding on throughout the season. The Giants are going into San Francisco. Somebody has to win this one. The Giants, McAdoo has lost that team. I heard somebody say this week, and it was a great point, you let Odell Beckham get away with all that stuff and don't suspend him, and now you're suspending the defensive backs left and right for their actions. That creates dissension. I wish I could remember who I heard say that this week. So I can't, but I agree with them. And it's just a bad situation there in New York right now. Look for a lot of change in the offseason there, possibly even at the quarterback position for the Giants. I'll take San Francisco to get their first win over the Giants this week, and probably some kind of crazy play type of blocked field goal returned for the winning score type game. Miami going into Carolina. Miami has proven themselves to be garbage this season. Carolina should win this one. Probably not high scoring, but Carolina should win this game. I'm going to take New England to go ahead and beat Denver. Also, as Denver's offense is just garbage right now. I don't think their offensive line is coming to play. I don't think their running backs are doing what they need to do. I don't think the coordinators are doing what they need to do. I don't think the head coach is managing the coordinators the right way. I don't think John Elway is managing the players, the roster, and the draft the right way. It's just a mess there. The defense is starting to get fed up with it now after the last, 2 years of carrying the team, year and a half at least. New England, yes, historically they're bad here in Denver. Tom Brady's got a losing record. It's the only team that he has a losing record against. Blah, 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 blah. I don't see Osweiler leading, helping lead, getting the credit for leading the Broncos to another win against New England. Do they have a chance? Yes. The Denver Magic could always be there if the crowd gets into it. The defense makes a couple plays early. Denver could turn it around. But I would expect New England to go ahead and win that game against Denver. Those are my Week 10 picks. All right, let's get into college football. Yes, there's games going on right now. There's a lot of early games going on. But the two big games today, the two games that I'm going to be hoping to see some of tonight during my daughter's birthday party with her friends and everything that's going on, is the OU TCU game and the Notre Dame Miami game. Now, Notre Dame and Miami, they've been bitter rivals going back to the 80s when the newspaper article and the T-shirts were made of the Catholics versus the convicts. Two programs that I love to see when they're playing good football, when their teams are good, when they're talent rich, and it's going to be a good one. These are two teams tonight, both ranked high in the polls. Both games tonight start at, 6 here local time. Notre Dame number 3, Miami number 7, so both top 10 teams. And then OU TCU ranked respectively 5 and 6. So two top 10 games tonight that have huge playoff implications. If OU can pull this one out, I think when the ranking comes out, they move into one of the top 4 slots. If Notre Dame wins tonight, I think they're real close to solidifying themselves with the last hurdle. I mean, Notre Dame pretty much has to win out. They can't afford a loss. Not having a conference championship, they just can't afford a loss. They have to win out. More than likely, depending on what happens behind them. But another top 10 win for Oklahoma would be huge. And it'd be another win this season against a top 25 opponent. And I think that would be huge for them. For Miami, on the other hand, if they win tonight and beat Notre Dame, I don't see them moving into the top 4. They could get up to 5 potentially. I think honestly that's where Notre Dame would fall to with a loss tonight. And I don't think TCU moves into the top 4 with a win tonight either. But both games are going to be really good games tonight. My guy Kendrick, he's down there at the Mississippi State Alabama game today. My guy Eric, he's out at the LSU Arkansas game today. So shout out to you guys. Enjoy those games. I'm jealous of both of you right now. Number 1 Georgia's taking on Auburn. Number 10 Auburn this afternoon. I'm predicting Florida State to upset number 4 Clemson today. If you guys want to check that game out. Wisconsin's playing number 20 Iowa. So a lot of good games today. Ohio State blew out Michigan State today, or they are blowing out Michigan State today. College football, it's really a good game. If you're only an NFL person, please check out the college game. It's exciting. The rivalries are better. The kids get into them a little more. And it's going to be a good day of college football. It really is. So we've gotten through some little bit of college football. We've gotten through the two big games tonight. The one I'm looking most forward to is Notre Dame Miami. I grew up with the fascination with the Notre Dame program and the Newt Rockne and the Rudy movie and watching Rocket Ismail and Tim Brown and them face Miami and them face CU, and that's when I was really getting into football as a kid. So I'm really looking forward to that one, especially now that this season both programs are really good. So the mid-season Real Deal Sports Talk fantasy football standings look like this. In the Vets division, Smash Mouth Football is leading the Vets division. They got a 7-2 record. They're killing it this season. Burger Boys, they're coming in second. The Dirt Cannon is third. I'm coming in fourth right now at 6-3. I've won the last 4, so I'm coming up a little bit. And then Nerdle Sandwich, they are in fifth in the Vets division. Over on the Rooks side, the rookies, you got Tom Brady Zaddy. They're 5-4. They're in first place on the Rook side. On Point is 4-5. Brady Gaga is 4-5. The Wildcats 1-8. They are hurting. And then C1OA is also 1-8. As the Rooks, definitely they do it. They wouldn't qualify for the top 5 on the Vets side, but who's got the most points for this year right now is the Burger Boys. They've got 937.94 points scored for them. Least amount of points given up on the season, however, is C13OA, 1-8, but has only given up 806.52 points. But they've only scored 526 points, so you can see why they're 1-8 on the season. They're going to have to try and make some trades there to see what's going on for them. Try and salvage the last few games here. All right, matchups today. KP's Real Deal MVPs will be taking on Tom Brady Zaddy. Burger Boys are taking on Smash Mouth Football. On Point has the Wildcats. Nerdle Sandwich is facing the Dirt Cannon. And C13OA is facing Brady Gaga. Good matchups today. The Burger Boys have already put 19.42 points up on the board from their game on Thursday night. On Point has 9.5 points from Thursday night, and Tom Brady Zaddy scored big with 20.7 points from Thursday night. So good things going on there. That's the fantasy update. I'm going to have to pull some stuff out here in the second half of the season to try and get myself back in the playoffs or get back in contention for the regular season title as I got last year. But it's all in good fun. I appreciate everybody for participating, everybody for listening. And you know how we do. Until next time, everybody, just keep it real.